Hey, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Speaking of which, this is fairly new for me. Speaking into a camera, uploading it to YouTube. This whole channel, well, I've had the channel for a while, and I used to film events like during the two Ron Paul presidential runs. I went to see him speak. I'd film it, I'd put it up here, and different things like that. Only recently, last summer, did I first start talking into the camera. In general, really, I was never one to talk into a camera until last summer, and so that was kind of new for me, and it was also pretty sporadic that I was doing it. But now, in this version of my channel, which I started this year, 2017, I'm trying to figure out how to develop my channel. What to make it look like, what to make it about, and essentially it's about things that interest me. Political, social commentary, opinions, covering current events once in a while, and anything that interests me. So while thinking about what I was going to do for my channel, I decided that I was going to feature interesting books that I have in my collection. I fancy myself somewhat an aspiring bibliophile. I'm also a collector. I collect vinyl, all kinds of music, art. I make stuff. So when you make things, you always have things. And to me, the two kind of go hand in hand. I collect other people's work. I make work that I want other people to collect. I am not a minimalist when it comes to stuff. I have a lot of stuff. Although recently I've been trying to cut down on collecting and acquiring things for a couple of reasons. I'm trying to save money because I'm planning to move. I did a video about it. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Maybe you can offer me some advice. So I'm planning to move maybe at the end of this year, early next year, depending on my situation, just depending on things, but I do want to move. I need to get out of where I am currently. So I don't want to spend money, and I don't want to acquire more stuff because I don't want to have more stuff to have to pack and move. But one thing I seem to not be able to stop buying when I see one that I really want because it catches my eye for whatever reason are books. I love books. I love knowledge. I love information. I'm not the brightest star up in the sky, but I am very curious and interested in knowledge. And I just like books. When I read, I like to read books. When I'm online, I could read articles, things like that. I've never read a book online. I don't think I could read a book online. In fact, when I read a book, it's because I don't want to look at my computer screen any longer. I can go outside, I can go to the park, or I can just sit on my floor and read a book, whatever. But, I don't have to be connected to the internet. I don't have to be staring at a screen. So I kind of get away from technology and just read a book. And then also, if you think about, if something ever happens and power grid goes out, if we lose electricity, not just for like a day, but for a very long time, well, these computers, iPhones, smartphones, Kindles, whatever, they'll be worthless. Books will still exist, and books, well, that'll be where all the information and knowledge is stored and kept and where you can retrieve it from. So yeah, books are a good thing. I just like having the feel of a book, in my hand. So speaking of books, I decided to show off some of my interesting books that I've picked up, come across throughout the years. I'm going to start with one today that I recently acquired not too long ago. This winter, maybe early last year, towards the end of the year, maybe early at the beginning of this year. I can't remember exactly when I bought it, but it was fairly recently. I was in the city, and a big store here is Strand. They sell like all kinds of books, used, new. It's basically a large warehouse size, couple of floors just full of books. And, to get out of the cold, I like to pop into stores that interest me, and bookstores are one of those. So I went in, moseyed on down to the occult section where I usually head when I go to Strand, or most bookstores. And as I was scanning the shelves, bright yellow with the words, "The Book of Werewolves," stuck out like a sore thumb. And I picked it up, pulled it out of the shelf, and as soon as I had it in my hand, I knew I had to own it. This is The Book of Werewolves, being an account of a terrible superstition. Sabine Baring Gould, I guess that was the original author of the book, the classic work on this dreadful subject. So yeah, this interests me on multiple levels. Being interested, like I said, in books, and also being interested in werewolves, wolves in general. As you can see here, I got this Odin's wolf charm. I have this wolf's head tattoo here on my hand, traditional style. Mine has the third eye chakra, the third eye for knowledge, enlightenment, something that I'm always seeking. And now that I think about it, I remember back when I was a kid, little kid, I had this uncle, and I guess he kind of had a beard like I have right now. And I remember going over his house, and he'd chase me around like he was the wolf man. So, yeah, wolves. Wolves are an interest of mine. The occult, magic, folklore, mythology, Vikings, Norse mythology. This book covers all of that. This book, the first serious study of this subject in the English language, was originally published in 1865. This copy that I have in my hand was published by Causeway Books in 1973, a very good year, if I must say. It's out of print. The original cost when this book came out in 1973 was $8.95 for a hardcover book. I paid $15 for it, but I think it's worth every penny. I mean, it's in excellent condition considering the 40-plus years it's been around. No creases, no tears, no markings of any sort on the pages. It smells good. I guess it's got a little bit of yellow highlighting, but even that's fairly old because it's fairly faded. The paper jacket on the outside has some wear and tear on the edges, a bit of tape up here. But other than that, I mean, this book is in amazing condition, and I've never seen it before until that day when I picked it up. And like I said, as soon as I had it in my hand, I knew I had to own this book. I mean, this covers everything. You know, it's got the introduction, chapter 1, and chapter 2, lycanthropy among the ancients. So it goes back as far as ancient history, the ancient history of werewolves, the werewolf of the north, the origin of the Scandinavian werewolf, where it goes into Norse literature and the berserker. It's got the werewolf of the Middle Ages in here, and then it goes on to tell tales of death and mutilation by people who believe they were werewolves. Maybe they were werewolves. I don't know. I wasn't there. These are just accounts of these stories. But yeah, I mean, this is a terrific book for my collection. It's, I don't know, I'd say it's fairly rare. Out of print, excellent condition, hardcover, touches on many good subjects that interest me. So you can't beat it. $15. You know, it's got the predator wolf going for his kill. The old crosshatch style artwork. Yeah, this is a really cool book. So every once in a while, I'm going to do a video like this. I have other weird, interesting books that I've picked up along the way. And yeah, that's it for this. If you liked this video, if you thought it was interesting, learned about something you didn't know of, like this book, go ahead and like the video down below. If you have anything to add, any comments, please leave them in the comment box. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. Like I said, this is a fairly new channel, and it's going to be mutating and evolving as I get more comfortable talking to the camera and with software, editing software. You know, I'll be showcasing some of my art, both physical, tangible art that I make out here in the real world, as well as digital art, which I will incorporate into my videos. Some sound design as well. And yeah, that's about it. I'm out of here.